for taking your time and coming to this press conference. As we all know, this is an alarming issue and every concerned citizen is affected by this, and that's why Gomsa Bopa is here to bring you the concern to your doorstep and involve every individual here in the Gambia. But before I keep you waiting, my name is Mariam. I'm the media officer for Gomsa Bopa. And of course, on the high table here, immediately next to me is Ali Cham. He's an artist, an activist, and he's the president of Gomsa Bopa. We have a representative also from
Consumer Protection.
From Consumer Protection as well. Yes, Alpha Usman Diallo. He's representing the consumer. Yes, he's the president and he's representing the consumer. Thank you very much for joining us. And of course, Yusuf Kilo is the spokesperson of Gomsa Bopa. He will be leading the statement today for Gomsa Bopa. And next to him is Gambian. He's also a very active person when it comes to every issue when it comes to peace in the Gambia. And of course, Hussein, Team Gomsa Bopa will be doing the translation of us in Mandika later on. Of course, next to Hussein is Lamin Mane, a concerned Gambian citizen who will also deliberate on issues concerning the increase of farming here in the country. We have Million Dalasis, who is also a concerned citizen, also do be Thank you very much, and you go straight to Mr. Kelo, who is the spokesperson of Gomsa Bopa, who is going to be reading the statement this morning here for YMCA.
Access to affordable water and electricity is a basic fundamental human right which any serious government must provide its people. Unfortunately, the Gambian people have been struggling to enjoy stable electricity and access to clean water since independence, leading to the rebranding of the Gambia's only national water and electricity company. The Public Utilities Regulatory Authority, PURA, which is paid by Gambian taxpayers to regulate the supply of public utilities, has shown no interest in addressing NAWEC's poor standard of service delivery, which continues to cost Gambians billions of dollars in loans and bills. PURA failed to ensure that NAWEC consulted the Gambian people sufficiently on their extortionate tariff increase as required by Section 34, subsection 2B of the PURA Act 2001, mandating them to conduct research, including seeking the opinions of consumers of the service before approving any increases, instead of focusing on the country to purchase electricity in West Africa. Water and electricity are interdependent because taps go dry in the absence of electricity, which is required to pump water into our taps. Numerous communities suffer from lack of water supply, with many having to wake up at late hours in the morning to fetch water to be able to take a shower to go to work the next day. An investigation by the Center for Collaborative Investigative Journalism, which is titled The Gambia's Water Paradox, highlights how our country is blessed with plentiful water resources, but yet failing to provide safe water for its people. This highlights pure lack of care, with over 70% of the Gambian population suffering from E. coli in household drinking water. That's what the investigation is saying. According to NAWEC's electricity roadmap, which they published in November 2021, the average monthly electricity expenditure of households in rural areas was just over $1,150 and over $1,780 in urban areas. With NAWEC's extortionate 37% tariff increase, the average monthly electricity expenditure of household on electricity will now exceed $1,570 in rural areas and $2,440 in urban areas. Looking at these cost increases for electricity alone, without considering the increase of water and transportation, highlights how cost of living is fast outpacing salaries of local income earners in the country. The Gambia government's basic salary pay scales for grades 1 to 5 is less than $3,000. Less than $3,000 from grade 1 to 5 basic salary. Putting all this into consideration and given the latest price increases, access to affordable public services will continue to become a problem. Although we welcome the government's efforts to connect some 46 villages tomorrow, our worry is how rural Gambians will be able to pay for these extortionate electricity prices. We feel that this highlights the importance of ensuring access to electricity at affordable prices. Providing electricity at such extortionate prices will significantly reduce the number of people who can pay for it. Given the above, we call on the Gambia government to return to the drawing board, to review its targets, to ensure electricity access to Gambians and water, electricity for both access to electricity and water for all Gambians by 2025. The government needs to look at that target. Why? We have done our research. According to media reports from the Point newspaper, NAWEC has been struggling to pay arrears of almost $1 billion owed to SENELEC back in April 2020. The Gambia government is also reportedly owing NAWEC close to $750 million. This led to numerous blackouts during the Ramadan period. The millions of dollars that the government owes NAWEC and NAWEC's billions owed in loans that Gambian taxpayers continue to pay highlights the financial calamity NAWEC finds itself in. And all of this, I tell you, is at the expense of the Gambian people. The signing of the agreement with SENELEC has been a disaster from the beginning, with one of NAWEC's own engineers blowing the whistle about how senior NAWEC officials failed to ensure due diligence to secure the best prices for electricity for Gambians. Our group, those of us sat here, we will work with all Gambians of all spheres to peacefully demonstrate our dissatisfaction with NAWEC over their latest tariff increases, which will surely compound the cost of other goods and services after the transportation price hike earlier in the year. We call on all security officers, starting with the Inspector General of Police, to ensure that he secures our right to peacefully demonstrate our concerns. Our movement will be conducting local sensitizations in the public to discuss the latest price hike. And we implore on NAWEC to tell the Gambian people the real reasons why they have introduced this extortionate new tariff. Finally, even if a tariff was to be introduced, an increase of 37% for electricity and 20% for water is clearly unaffordable, leaving us with no option but to demand that NAWEC returns to its previous tariff. Therefore, bring back cheaper tariffs. Thank you.
Will understand what you said just in English, and of course we'll do a summary of that in Mandinka shortly by the session. Gambia will help us do that in America. If you're ready, as soon as possible.
Consensus in Yanko Bangola Ko, where I have it, Lukana Benja. The NSC Jawal ko Navega ko Bekin, Gambia Government, Amantara Moyo Kumbodo, Najalko Amame Bake, Naveki Tariff, Gambia Tariff, Loro welcome in San Puro, Yalafa, Lafaro Mianko, among Gambia being Yapa, because Gambia Dimo Gay about Fokana. The Antibe, Harabin Yanto, Banku Dimo Banku Ding, Yev Kolon Soto. Ani jiyo miyango isa aftuaga isa afobes ila poso sa sinema ebe ndogu diga nyande ko nyande ko samno le inde ka jiyo so no le o mi la nyanto le para Gambia la masakunda na jel ko nyanto ni e mantra diga Gambia dimolla so ko min benter na min na raji na regla ni tariff increasement la miyango ko la famenge ani ji la famenge karo be ga klam tele e kadi sen miyango tasabani woro wala yo la fa courant kan parce que moi parce que moi et on la fa jio kan gamero bestro kan o parce que o mi fa mi die bestro kan ko jo ena ni fana la kan ajal ko mo ko de me ko amanya na kala alu bon ko ngol toro kan ne e la nyanto pour ka pro di la ni jio di la ni sera bi oke e be toro kan ka la fay ma body sro mi ala ga me pura multi ko jamo ko no termino ko na hala jego pura body di mi ala ko itole be morning NAWEC tema itole be consumer wala ngo milka benefit service bina lo ya tandiko nin NAWEC nyanda ka increase minke pour ente ha make sure le NAWEC futa banko dingol bela ka tandi mo la ko nin la fa ko leke de mo e ka waga me engagement public engagement bare to ya jale ko PURA tel mi ala go de la do ko mo dal mo leke jo na sari la mo leke jo rio do ko after yo kele bare e mata mi ala ko enter nyafa because bring na so be ngale ko mo jama la ga ba mo ka mi ala ko e mam PURA lo engagement kalamda so PURA la engagement ko PURA de mi ala ko e mata e nyanda ta akenya men ko lon ta no kalam sa dina ra jibe corona ko ay na ra jibe gamino la sari anim kamiso Gambian Government sari ko ani ne ko la fa ne ko la fa ji ya ko Gambian abagana disko la bolunya abagana tarendile bolunya gana ko lendele banko di ngota ala diamo ko ko je ko Gambia bu banko le miango ale ndema jio mante problème o de duma be jio ba miana NAWEC mangi compagnie di miango e so utilize no kaje ko jiko amanga problème o de Gambia jamma hani ma ko jiko mangi problème o de Gambia banko kam so diamo ko ay ko NAWEC research ninke ya ni la ko Gambia la mas NAWEC ya tande mo la ko Gambia la mas kunda bunda ila julo le NAWEC le ba min ju ara ko 750 million dollars siba after na de ko NAWEC fana ye julo le soto SENELEC la compagnie mene ga SENELEC ya ga dara fo billion killing ya ko ya ko lan fo de mo de april ne an ko NAWEC ma sa to no hanta sa ndole ya ko NAWEC la increase ko ne la kan hada badim Gambia ko kam wala ko ga tan to foiro le ko alla sara ni wa ga misra la do kulla alla na la fa ñu kam ngata nga SENELEC jo wala kan ma SENELEC jo no muna na ko because NAWEC mam electric programme faye SENELEC mo wandi country la compagnie le de banko mi ala ko e man courant fond di le banko mo bela e di la courant ko da ya sene do la fa julo ka te ni wolte ma fa banko di wol kana ka so fo wala e la sari ni ngol e wota e ko winjo na ta nyam ko bringa na search fananke da average Gambian ni ya grade 1 to grade 5 mo la sari kam so do be ba Gambian wol janne ni ya ko 3000 ma fa da 3000 le so ni increment o mo ko ya la fa la o mo kam ko ni na ra di be fana rural Gambia ni ajibe korola ya hayma na research ya hayma mo lembe rural Gambia wan wuli killing anin kemenin tallu e ko la dumbe koroni ya jibo ko mi be jama ko mo jama fon wuli killing keme woro wala tanse e ko dumbe la e ko boni sari kono ka dumbi koron ko kono ban nayo la ni la faro min kata je abaten la ko hanil be rural Gambia sai yeto koron so wuli killing keme lulu taworo wala e bol la fala je sa yo boni mola sare kono bando membe ko mo jam ya jibe wuli fula keme nani ani tanani e bole fengela ka boli la sare kono sa ni menga 3000 sare so we wuli fula keme nani tanani bondi je pour NAWEC dem man ko because of NAWEC la ñu tari wala baluwo wala na nyaari so ngajel ko mu gameno be concerne wala na nar ko ka ko be nga jenyo ka nga ko ni ke Gambia Banko government ele nyanto nga kanda franco e ko bes village le ko di la village la bitara for the 6 village tan na ni 6 village mi ko ko di village so la o ko mi ko kendo no Gambia dingol be ya upload mo be ko danda ko par ça yo ko di ko di milla rural Gambia saya ke mira wonga ko men di le basa no la nyaadi le na tra mo mi ko ala sere man si ye ko la fa america ye ko di o mari saya ke mi from me o ko sanu la nyaadi le wala ko fana ko le mi ango NAWEC nyanda ka penge so kan nga Gambia dingol be kumandi ka because nga ko NAWEC la contract wala government Gambia government ye contract SENELEC tema do yayal ko NAWEC kamin fo mo le banda o ma ko mo be duma so nga NAWEC kumani na pour ne fiti banku dingol ya tan mo la ko mo ne fo ya na ile fata ni courant la fa kandi ka assist mi di banda do wandol nyafa e NAWEC mo ko fo mo le andum na dimension men ka ko courant ni ay jiduma fo Gambia dingo Gambia ding e mo ko mun do ko ke ya ko so courant na fa no na dara fa do ke no la ka jini duma fo mo be andi numéro so ko sanno wala courant be nun dame ya muru ni mo le abete sa oka be banko dingol be kumandila ka police bundala kana ga bari ni banko be ko le do be wala so le ko mo be Cashpower hayde ka say ko ma ka sa wala fa ma ka sa ni Cashpower la fa courant jor la fa ay mun torol simol ma ngajal business o be la fa kan dafa wonjo san kan wonjo san mo ken dalasi sa ga fi ma 20 dalasi la yo ne biro la fa mo he afana ba business o la fa la ni business o la fa da abina mun na banko dingol la kam ba yo banko dingol abina wala torol ba so courant ko le is connected to all businesses so ne courant la fa rek jio la fa rek fi on be le fa la banko ka mo bina toro bina mo kam wala na ko nga mo be kumande mo be nana police lo Gambia lo amanke politique kuti amanke parti kuti amanke si kuti Gambia dingo lo mo be yega ko la jo ni ko sorta ma so to ya ma so va to le joni sa sorta Gambia be so ko be findi la bantale peacefully kairo kono kana ni ru atandi NAWEC la ni Gambia masakundala bimbe kere o kan ni mbakela da dana ko mo jambe ko be la banko be mobilize mo be findi wolo la ta sa ni police be engine me so la katari la ko na nyanto lo prale ko me di mola na fi desilo kam na banko be ko mande na nyanto ko mola so no fana sida ba ko na Gambia mo mobilize